From the density of houses he's discovered, Parker Pearson calculates the population ran into the thousands. Tribes gather from across England for the great communal project of the age, to build Stonehenge.
What we're looking at here is the foundations and the floor of a Neolithic house, 4,500 years old. Here's the doorway. You can see some of the holes that held the stakes, and these would have supported a wall. And as I walk into the house, you can see how this bit's really quite worn from people coming up into it. And then here we are within the central part. We have these little kneeling holes here. The fact that they have survived to all that time is just stupendous. We've never seen anything like that before, and somebody must have spent an awful lot of their time in front of the hearth tending it and cooking the food. And you can actually see where the soot from the hearth has actually stained the plaster. Look at these dark areas here. Now the great thing about this house is we've actually got an idea of where the occupants actually slept, so that either side of us we have zones off the plaster floor where there would have been box beds.
Prehistoric sites usually yield few remains. Here, the team finds thousands. But the greatest revelation comes from what they are not finding. The ancient people who came here were farmers. Yet there are no signs of farming activity. This tells Parker Pearson there is something unusual about this settlement.
I think what we're seeing is a community that are bringing all their stock with them, coming here for short parts of the year. This isn't a full-time permanent settlement.
For just a few weeks in the year, thousands gather here from across southern Britain. They are drawn by one of the most remarkable features of Stonehenge itself.
If we'd been here at the midsummer solstice, what would have happened? Now, we don't have a time machine, but I think there are ways that we can really get a glimmer of an understanding. And what I would imagine is that at dawn, people gathered at Stonehenge, and that begins a really important day.
It is Parker Pearson's belief that these farmers gather here to thank their ancestors for bringing life back to the land and making it fertile once more.
So the ancestors of Stonehenge gathered at times in sacred ceremonial coming togethers time after time. In ancient times, it motivated them, made them stronger, gave them a sense of unity. What do we know any longer?